Earlier this week, I was browsing my local Costco and I stopped dead in my tracks. I saw a box of golf balls I had never seen here before. These are the Kirkland Signature V3. It's actually the 4th generation of Kirkland Signature golf balls, but it is the V3. I'll explain. We're gonna test it out on course here today and see what this thing can do. And we're gonna pull out the prior generation, the V2 ball, and we're gonna test these things head to head to see which ball is better. First thing I'm gonna do though is cut into the core of these balls to see what's changed. All right, so I was able to get my hands on the V2 golf balls, and it wasn't easy, but I spent the money on Amazon and paid double what they used to cost, so don't do that. If you're gonna buy the Kirkland Signature balls, make sure you buy them at Costco. That's the place to buy them, where you get the best deal at about $1 a ball. Here's the new ones, here's the old ones. If we look at just the design of these boxes, it's certainly much more modern looking, this new box over here. Now, if we look at the back of this, you can see they've got the core as yellow. We're about to open these up here with my tool. The V2 yellow, the V3 red. So basically the description of these two balls exactly the same as well. So we've got to actually pull them out here and find out. So just looking at them off the bat, the V2 ball here, it's a little bit more brilliant white looking. This one is more of a, it's not like creamy, but it's like a darker white. Hopefully you can see that on camera. The printing here is pretty similar. Now, if we look here at the writing on the ball, the little alignment writing, which is nice to have, the V2 ball, the last generation, has just one arrow, and the font is lighter. This is a bolder font on the new ball. It's also got 2 arrows pointing both right and left. So that's one way you can tell the difference between the V2 and the V3 ball. But let's go ahead and open these things up and see if there's any actual difference inside. So I'm using a PVC pipe cutter tool. It's the best way I've found to open golf balls. This thing's like, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks probably at a hardware store, and makes it very simple to explore the core of these balls. And there you go, true to the box itself. You got a yellow inside there, and we're gonna open up the new ball here. Yep, it's definitely different inside. So there you go, definitely a different material being used. I would say the thickness of this mantle layer is a little different between these two balls. All right, this one seems to be a little more thick, which I guess leads to a little bit more compression. This one's a little thinner. All right, and there's one more thing that I'm seeing. In terms of the diameter of that mantle layer, here it's a blue ring. I would say that's very even, whereas on this ball, I would say it's much thicker here towards the top and a little less thick there towards the bottom. What is that going to do to the golf ball? Well, we'll find out on course, but I think this ball is going to be a little softer. This ball is going to be a little bit firmer because of that mantle layer being a little thinner. And the other thing, if you saw my video last summer about the balance of golf balls and how that affects the roll on the green, I'd be a little worried here that the thickness is not consistent here in this particular, I almost lost it, in this particular ball in my right hand, this new V3 ball, because you can get inconsistent putts out on the green if you saw my videos with the saltwater test last year as well. So we'll take these out on course, we'll explore the differences of both, we'll see how it plays out, if we see the differences that we see inside translate to outside. All right, that was pretty interesting. Now we're out on course and we're gonna test this V3 ball. I have not played any holes with this thing yet. We're gonna do it together and find out. All right, there's water on the left that I do not wanna be in. But I'm gonna take a rip at this thing. Nice high trajectory. It's fading on me a little bit. That was probably the swing, I'm sure, rather than the ball, but it's out there. Now I would say based on that one shot, the feel of these balls maybe is a little bit more solid and a little less compressed feeling than the V2 balls. Look at this little guy. You never know what you're gonna see here in Florida. He's going to the water that I was trying to avoid. All right, we're over here in the right rough. Let's see if we can hit the green. All right, I'm in the right rough here. We got 142, and you probably can't even see the flag, but it's barely visible to me, just on the left side of those trees. 142, I've got 9 iron in hand, which is asking a lot. Let's see if we can get there. Ooh, it's up there nice and high. And that looks really good. Whew, that's pin high. But once again, I'm not feeling the soft compressed feel. This is definitely a firmer feeling ball. One thing I'd say about the Gen 2 version of these balls is that they really got up high in the air, almost to the point of them ballooning a little bit and losing a few yards. I don't think these are that high. I haven't seen it balloon necessarily after these first two shots. But I will say it is a nice high trajectory. And don't worry, later here in the video, we're gonna literally go head to head with the V2 and these new V3 balls. Man, that was a really good shot. Look at that. I mean, that's as pin high as it gets. In terms of spin, that ball actually came backwards 6 inches. Oh, I think I pushed that just a little bit. We got to settle for par. That was one great birdie opportunity with these balls. And we're going to play one more hole here before we really start to go head to head with the Kirkland V2 and V3. So distance really good there with the iron. With the driver, that was my first swing of the day, literally. So we'll see here if we get a little better idea of the performance in terms of distance. However, I will say in terms of spin, you can't fault these balls. With a 9-iron out of the rough, we actually bring it back about 6 inches on the green. That's pretty awesome. All right, par 5 here. I'm looking for a drive in the 270 range. Let's see what we do. All right, that was much better hit than the first hole. We'll see how it rolls out. And I'm gonna measure the distance here on my Garmin watch. All right, that trajectory was a lot better, not quite as high as that first shot. It actually had a nice little draw to it as well. So I struck that really, really good. Pretty darn well center, I would say. Like I said on the tee box, 270 around there, 265, 270, 275. That's where I think I should be on this hole. All right, this was a really good shot. I mean, talk about splitting a fairway. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that. Let's see where we are in terms of distance. There we go, off the tee. Well, we're at 251. 251 for distance. Honestly, I expected a little bit more out of that, but maybe it was me. We'll continue to test here. All right, let's see if we can finish this hole strong. Well, we're basically 280 yards out here, so it doesn't behoove me to hit a wood. I've got a 4-iron in hand. I'm just gonna get into position here on this par 5. Hopefully we can attack with a wedge. Oh, a terrible, terrible shot. Where did that come from? And that right there is your daily reminder that I am a mere mortal. If you're a mere mortal too, go ahead and hit subscribe. I like testing things like these Kirkland Signature balls because they're the perfect ball for a mere mortal at basically $1 a ball. You can lose a few of these and it doesn't hurt too bad. Now, luckily I didn't lose that ball. In fact, I'm in the fairway. I'm just a lot further out than I'd like to be. Watch says 169 to the middle. Looks like it must be a front pin because I'm getting 160 here. We're gonna go 7-iron, play for the middle of the green. Little bit of a downhill lie like that other one. Hopefully this shot's a little better than that last shot. I think it is. Is it enough? Ooh, it's close. Again, there we had a little bit lower trajectory, and that's really what I was hoping to see personally. All right, yeah, good for direction. I did come up a little short there, and I'll blame that on the strike itself. I think that definitely could have been better. Let's see how this thing does around the green, see what kind of checkup we can get on a little chip shot here. All right, should be a very easy shot. I've got the 58-degree wedge here in hand. I'm gonna try to hit this about 3/4 of the way, let it roll out the rest. Let's see what happens. Yep, wow. I'll tell you what, that stopped pretty darn good for that shot, and we've got a nice little tap-in par. So I hacked around a little bit here on this hole, but we walk away with a good score nonetheless. All right, we're going to a par 3, and here's where I want to test this ball, the V3 versus the prior generation. We've got 147 to this flagstick. I'm gonna go 8-iron here, and I'm just gonna take a nice, smooth shot. Don't need to really kill it, just need to hit it nice and smooth. We've got 3 balls. of the V2s versus 3 balls of the V3s. Let's see what happens. I'll walk you through it as I hit the shots. I'm gonna have a lot of pitch marks to fix here, hopefully. Okay, first up, this ball is going to be the V2, the prior generation. Boy, it's on a good line. I think maybe the feel, I prefer the V2s a little bit here, but we'll keep swinging. This one here is a V3, the newer generation. That one I pushed off to the right a little bit. Good spin, it seemed like. The first one I hit just ever so slightly thin, so I like to get a little bit more club on this ball. Well, I did that and I pulled it. I pulled it left. That's off the green. It felt better, but the swing wasn't so great. All right, V3 here again. Good shot there. A little left of target. Nice looking spin on that V3, I gotta say. All right, one more V2. Hopefully we hit the green with this one. We did. A little right of target. But I'm honestly a little bit more concerned with feel, spin, and trajectory here. One last one here with the V3. Oh, I hit that one thin, kind of like that first shot. So let's see the difference. Although that was a dart really tracking, so that's going to be close to the pin, I think. In terms of trajectory with an 8-iron, pretty similar, honestly. Again, maybe just a little lower with this newer ball. All right, here we go. First ball, back left of the green. That, of course, was the Gen 2. I pulled that one. Now we've got 3 balls here. Here, I'm really concerned with pitch marks. So we got the pitch mark right here. Okay, and I'm stepping this off. 1, 2, 3, 9 feet of rollout there. That there, guys, is the new Gen 3. No mark on it. Got to fix all our divots, of course. Another pitch mark here, and we'll step it off. 3, 6, 9, 9.5 feet here. That's Gen 2. So it actually rolled out maybe half a foot more on this shot. Over here, this ball actually backed up. Now there's just a very slight incline here, but definitely it backed up here. That is a V2, last gen. Another pitch mark here I'm fixing. And we're gonna go 3, 6. That is a new one, Gen 3. And then our best shot here, it had a lot of spin actually because I kind of hit it thin. And it didn't roll out at all. How about 2 inches? And a very good chance at birdie. So that was our last shot there with the Gen 3. Seems like the spin is actually a little better with this ball. I'm gonna hit a few chip shots from the screen, and again, we're gonna get a little apples to apples here with these balls. All right, we're greenside here. I've got a nice tight lie, 58-degree wedge in hand, and we're gonna test the spin here and check up with these pitch shots. First up here to change things up is the V3. Nice and high. Stopped just like I'd like it. Here we go with the V2. Didn't quite hit it. Did roll on a little bit more. I don't think I pinched it quite as much. Shot 3, V3. Now that was pretty similar to the last shot, so we got an idea that the V3s don't roll out quite as much. Here's a V2. Right at it. Get in the hole. Ooh! So far it's looking like the V3s have a little bit more spin, but last shots here, this is the V3 again. Ooh, that was right at it, and that thing really checked. Same shot to the shot just before it. V2. Ooh! Definitely looks like there's more spin out of the V3s, both in irons and chip shots. That's what I'm seeing around the greens. Got a pair of sandhill cranes. They're always in pairs. These birds mate for life. That's why I love coming out here at the end of the day. You never know what you're gonna see, and the wildlife's moving around. It's just so peaceful. We got the big stick in hand here, and we're gonna hit 3 shots with each of these balls. I gotta say, I'm so surprised with the fact that you're getting a lower trajectory and more spin. That's got my mind boggled, I gotta say. But it is what it is. All right, first shot here. This is the Blue Dot V2. Ooh, I like that one. That's gonna be a good spot. Nice high trajectory. Was it too high though? Let's see. This is the V3. Ooh, that's actually much higher. That's much higher right there. Maybe where I hit it on the club face. Again, good spot to be. V2. Oh, that was really high. That one ballooned. That's heading left. That's what I was seeing sometimes out of those V2 balls. They sometimes do that. This is V3 here. V3. Oh, there we go. Similar trajectory to the first shot I hit. Real nice. It'll be real interesting to see those 2 balls, the first one and that fourth one, where they ended up. All right, V2 here. Yeah, definitely higher. Definitely higher. That one's off to the right a little bit. Pushed. Not a terrible shot, but I can do better. All right, last one here with the V3 New Gen. Oh yeah, that looks good. All right, it's gonna be very interesting to see. We're gonna get our measure shot here with the Garmin S70. You can buy this, by the way, at playbetter.com. Link down below. Help support the show when you buy it. There are some good shots out there, but this is not one of them. This is that V2 that ballooned on me. And you can see, boy, I lost distance. 226. Better balls are in the fairway. Here's what we got. We got one right here. We got one up there in the shadow. Then we've got one here, and one way up there. I don't know what's what. It'll be fun to find out. 237. There is our V3. That's a new one. No blue dot. Over here, I'm pretty sure this is going to be V2. And yep, I see the blue dot from here. A little further, 259. V2. Now I know I hit that first V2 really good, so it'll be interesting to find out which one that is. This is the New Gen right here. No dot on this ball. 241. 241. Here we go, the moment of truth, because these were 2 really well hit balls. 252. 252. That's a Gen 3, which means Gen 2 is a little longer here, guys. That first one we hit at 259, 260. Give it to the man, huh? There we go. Well, I don't know. This is tough to unpack, guys. It's tough to digest this. I think, boy, they're close. We're splitting hairs. We are absolutely splitting hairs. I like the feel definitely better with the V2 with a driver. That more compressed feeling is what I personally like. You might be different. Now, I would think we'd be getting more distance with a firmer ball, but it doesn't seem to necessarily be the case. Now, the one thing I will say is that when it's hit poorly, or not as optimal, we should say, when it's not hit so optimally, I would say the V3 wins out here. I think it's just a little straighter. I went 6 for 6 in fairways, if you didn't notice, with the V3. And sure, could that have been the swings? Maybe, but I did hit one really bad swing on this one, and it still ended up in the fairway. So it seems to be a very straight ball. I think if you want maximum distance and a little bit more feel, I think the V2 wins out. If we want really good distance, a little firmer feel, but maybe more spin around the greens, and maybe a little bit more piercing trajectory, not so high necessarily. I think now you're leaning V3. Both very, very good balls. I think personally I actually like the V2 better for my game, personally, but I think there's absolutely an argument here for the V3. Really, you can't go wrong. When you're in Kirkland, pick up a couple dozen of these things for, like I said, $1 a ball. Give them a shot for yourself. I think you will like the results no matter if it's V2 or V3. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see some amazing wedges that Costco just rolled out, I reviewed those very recently. Here's a link to that video. Had a lot of fun with those. Maybe the best value in golf. If you haven't subscribed already, do that, and I'll catch you real soon on another edition of Let's Play Thru.